Welcome to the Southern U Podcast, brought to you by Darden Archery on the OKest Podcast Network, with your co-host, Matt Brock, Jeremy Ferguson, and Taylor McMurtry. If you're looking for all things land-related in the Southeast, you came to the right place. Whether it's real estate, habitat, wildlife, or just being outdoors, this is the place for you. Welcome to the Southern U. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Southern U Podcast, where we talk all things land-related, real estate. We got a realtor broker in the room, so we talk timber, forestry, I guess you'd say, hunting, ag, whatever else that makes up land in the South. You guys know who I am, so I don't need introduction. I'm not as important as these other guys.
Oh, come on, Taylor.
But you gotta get this one.
Some call him a real estate broker. Some call him a wildlife biologist. Some simply refer to him as the Ferg. Welcome to the show, the real estate, cattle, and habitat aficionado, Jeremy Ferguson.
Oh, that's
What's
awesome
up, everybody?
right there.
What's up, everybody?
Big round of applause.
Big round of applause right there.
Hey, you come in to like $5,
Yeah.
doing podcast, and Taylor goes out and gets fancy with these intros.
I just need to get some music behind it there.
We got a new board, and that was a mistake on all parties. Because now I get to do funny stuff.
I think next week I'm gonna have him change it to the old Stone Cold intro where.
Oh, buddy.
Yes. As soon as the glass shatters, you know what's up.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's right.
That is perfect.
And so
That's perfect.
Matt is not here. He's burning and doing whatever else Brock does this time of year.
There's only two things:
Hunting
hunting or burning.
And we hope he's literally not burning.
No, he himself is not burning, but
I promise you, he's burning between the ears.
Yeah, he probably is. Probably is.
That squirrel runs off its.
I'll tell you, if he don't get a haircut
often.
soon, it's going to be real easy for him to catch on fire.
Yeah. We saw him riding down the road over there the other day, and Cody looked up and said, "Is that Chuck?" And I said, "Heck, Chuck don't own a four-wheeler." I said, "Ain't Chuck." And I looked and I said, "It is Chuck." And got closer and it's like, "Oh dang, that's Matt."
Oh,
I've never
man.
seen
So
Matt
Matt with long hair or longer hair at a distance is starting to resemble his daddy Chuck an awful lot.
And that will probably make him want to cut it. Because I
It
think he
will.
just let it go, but everybody's like, "Hey, man, you look like Chuck." He's probably going to go cut it.
Yeah, he's not ready to look like a 60-year-old man.
Yeah. I think we need to hold him down and cut it if he don't. Just do our own style.
Matt will tell you he can't be held down, which I told him the story about the last time I heard somebody tell that.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't end well for him either, and it wouldn't end well for Matt.
Yeah. some of my kin. Yeah. We won't say names.
No, that's good stuff.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, Matt's here, and Bray, I think, is back from Pittsburgh
After freezing her fanny off.
My gosh, man, you couldn't pay me. She was sending us pictures the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, nope. I'd turn around and drive home right then.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Her and her husband went to take in a game of his favorite football team, the Steelers, on Monday Night Football, and it looked like there was about a football's depth worth of snow everywhere else.
Terrible. The river was frozen, ice everywhere. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, I was working in the area, and I made it to Pittsburgh about twice in my life, and I did not leave anything there that I need to go back for.
No thanks.
Nothing.
Yeah,
So
no.
you're going to get some hate for that from
Yeah, about to
somebody.
say, sorry. I don't think how many Pennsylvania listeners we got, but
Yeah, hey, Pennsylvania's altogether different. It's a whole different kind of. There's some beautiful country up there, man.
oh yeah, big woods.
I mean,
real
Yeah,
pretty.
big woods.
Yeah.
Most people that know who I am. I'm not a city guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting to. Our guest for the show, another fellow wildlife biologist. It's like they just start multiplying. They just start finding them. It's Cody Green. Cody's got a ton of experience in the whitetail and kind of management space. He's got experience in Texas and doing the high fence game and
Kind of been all over the place.
Yeah, man, done all kinds of stuff. So we're going to be talking about some trends that we're seeing kind of across the Southeast in general, but certainly in Alabama. And I think Cody'd be a good guy to maybe pick his brain.
Well,
according to Jeremy, I don't know if we should pick your brain
I
too
don't know
hard
about that,
or not,
yeah.
You pick all you can.
No, but there's not but one legend, okay?
right.
And everybody knows who that is, but
No doubt.
I know I didn't get to use his intro. He's not here.
I'll blow Cody's skirt up for him. Cody and his younger brother Kyle, that's an agent for me, are at Tut there. Both of them in their own right are dang good hunters and cut their teeth in areas that were tough to kill deer, Marshall County, Alabama. It's tough to have deer, so it's dang sure tough to kill them.
Yeah. Chernobyl.
We didn't know there was anything outside of Marshall County for a long time.
Yes.
And do a lot. We don't focus on public land, but those two have they really made their way. Killing deer with a bow on public land. So
That's what I'm talking about, man.
I enjoy it.
It's
And
hard.
I don't do it anymore.
It's hard to do around here. I know that. Sorry, phone's ringing. I'll call them back later. But yeah, I just think that we were talking just on the phone before you guys got over here, and we're talking about just some kind of trends in the harvest of deer this year, and whitetails just kind of seem to be down across the board. I don't think there's any less hunters.
No.
I don't think there's any other changes in terms of.
I think there's less hunters in the woods this year.
Right, but I was going to say as far as licenses sold, that kind of stuff.
No difference.
But we're going to get into maybe, see what you guys think. Kind of bring the perspective of a biologist as to why that is and what that trend looks like, if that's going to continue or if that's just kind of a fluke one-off year type thing or whatever. But before we jump in there, I've forgotten this the last couple episodes, but we usually on every show try to give a shout out to somebody or business, a company, something like that. Do y'all have anybody you want to shout out before we jump into the topic at hand?
Well, I will. I've actually got one, been on the phone with him today, and he's been on the podcast a time or two. But give a little shout out to Mr. Joseph Clark.
Hey, Joseph.
First South Farm Credit. We have been through the ringer on a couple of deals here recently, and look, I know all the folks at First South, and look, there's other lenders, Alabama Farm Credit, number of lenders here that we use in the state. But Joseph is local to me, and let me tell you, he's gone to bat on some very difficult transactions we've had here recently, and we've got them all through. So shout out to him. Appreciate you. And obviously I know he's doing it for a living too, but, not everybody works that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to single anybody out. But I'm singling him out on how hard I know he does work to get these things through for us.
Yeah, for sure. That's something you don't see as often nowadays, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give one other shout out to not two really individuals, but to two industries.
There you go. Okay.
The agricultural industry for deer corn sales, and game cameras. You guys got to be doing jam up. The number of corn sacks that's laying on the side of the road in Alabama, I don't know about the rest. Look, I've been guilty of it, but y'all weight your daggum sacks down with something so they're not littered on the side of the road.
We need to do a tutorial of exactly how to fold a bag. I think I counted one time I could get like 80 to 100 empty bags in one. Empty bags folded up properly. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, for real.
And hey guys,
if we're
going to talk about this deeper.
Be responsible.
But game cameras are great. We all use them, but they're a trap. Get off your butt and get in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But those two industries got to be doing solid.
Yeah, they got to be all right. I don't think they're skipping any meals.
I mean,
everybody's good.
You know, had enough ground, I definitely wouldn't mind farming some corn. I mean,
Yeah,
it's selling, baby.
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
My gosh.
You could probably take pre-orders.
Well, I mean, so it's
Like-
like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to go to the dollar store and find corn now. It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
There's corn everywhere.
I mean, every gas station over there close to
Oh,
us
absolutely.
has got a pallet at the end of every gas pump.
yeah, on both ends.
Oh, yeah, on both.
On both ends. Yeah.
Yeah, wise investment.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Get gas.
if
corn.
folks don't think baiting was a business decision by state,
Well, of course.
then they are. Gosh, they just
Well,
don't think through the process.
and
I don't want to. I don't want to say what I feel. Okay.
Well, I would have not read it. I've just heard heard Matt talk about this before, and I thought it was kind of interesting to hear his perspective. But he's like, I got no problem with baiting being legal. I have a problem with how the rule is written.
Yeah.
It's illegal to hunt over bait.
Correct.
It is illegal to harvest an animal and hunt over bait.
Sure.
Unless you have a permit. Like
Yep.
that's you know what I mean? Like
Right.
change the way that's written because there is no like it's illegal to kill deer at night with a spotlight unless you have a spotlight permit. You know what I mean? It's just crazy
Yeah.
the way it
well,
sounds.
I mean, that was
like,
my whole thing. My brain, but however many years ago it became legal if it was 100 yards away and out of sight.
Out of
I mean,
line
I
of
thought
sight.
that. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I thought that was the funniest thing I ever heard of in my life. It's like
It was.
It's like, all right, well let's put the feeder behind a pine tree 3 foot wide, and what is that?
Well, there was a lot of discrepancies with that, and that's why
when
it
you were still with the
changed.
department, I think.
Yeah, it was. And the letter of the law or regulation was supposed to be you can't see a deer feeding in the corn, but that's not what it said.
Right. Exactly.
That's how a lot of tickets were written.
Sure.
And then we had people putting it behind hay bales, and so then it was like, no, y'all are interpreting it wrong. It's got to be behind natural vegetation. Well, we got a lot of gray area, so that's why we got what we got now. Right. And look, my problem with baiting is if you don't do it, you're gonna lose.
Sure.
Because your neighbor's doing it, and if your neighbor's doing it, your deer are over there. Now, are they gonna kill all of them? No, but by and large, your deer's over there where the corn's at.
that's right.
Well, and here's the issue. No matter how you look at it, and why I see both ends of the argument. I mean, we've been doing this our whole life. Mm-hmm. If you go back, you make it illegal again. Guess what? The guys down the road still going to be doing it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
some of them are.
It makes
Just
it,
like turkeys
it makes
now.
it right, and I mean that's kind of I have hundreds of people interact with people that I know personally. It's like, hey, we don't have any birds because we're not baiting. And at some point it's like, what do you do? It's a catch-20. Either you bait too, or you don't see any deer.
That's it.
So and there's is there still 2 officers per county in the state of Alabama or whatever. I mean,
Most, yeah.
they're never gonna catch these, but so it's just like, what do you do?
Oh well, I mean,
It's our society now.
Yeah.
Instant gratification. We want to do it the easy way.
I mean, would you rather go tromping across whoever's property and try to catch somebody in the act and write them a ticket, or make up that revenue and go, hey guys, just buy a $15 or whatever it is baiting permit?
And then you get into all the weeds with disease and transferals and stuff such as that, and it's the bottom line, people are going to do it. Mm-hmm. It's been going on as long as they've made corn and it can be put out. Mm-hmm. I mean, and same thing with turkeys. The guys that are going to be outlaws, they're still going to be outlaws.
That's right.
And you and I may go over there and go out on somebody's 500 acres, whatever, lease, and hey, all the birds are over there. Well, hey, guess what? We're trying to abide by the law and do the right thing here, but guess what? We're going to be unsuccessful.
Well, that
Because,
right there.
and you can call the game warden. Are they going to catch them? Are they going to stop them? No.
That right there, though, is why people that can afford it are building high fences, because they're tired of fighting their neighbors.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's you get like we'll go back to Texas, and you know, people out there don't know me that well, but I don't really stand on any platform for anybody. I think what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and everybody should have their equal fair share. But at some point when guy down the street spending he's got a stack of receipts this high on how much money he's spending on management on his property, and the guy just bought 40 acres next door. I get it. I know why you want to put up a fence, because it's protecting your investment.
That's it.
But there again, you hear all these things about people. I won't hunt behind a fence. I won't do this. I won't do that. Let me tell you something, folks. Fences, whatever your stance is on them, don't really mean anything. I mean, a deer behind a fence, whatever, deer act the way deer act because of the way they're treated.
Yep.
Yeah.
It don't have anything to do with inside or outside of a fence. It is all a product of how your deer are reacting to the way they're treated.
I've told people that, and they look at me cross-eyed, that the hardest place I've ever tried to kill a deer was inside a 1,200-acre high fence in Georgia, outside Warner Robins. I've never been to a place that just a deer was harder to kill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
Never.
me, being in Texas for about a decade, and I ran a ranch down there. People ask me, well, man, and it's one of those things, what, you don't hunt? You don't hunt here that much. No, I mean, I don't have the desire, the way I grew up hunting and stuff, to, go out here and shoot a deer. This is my job. It's my livelihood. I know every deer on this property. I mean, that's what I do. We catch them with helicopters. We do everything. But, and this, I would occasionally, and I've killed quite a few of them, find that deer that out of 30,000 pictures, I've got 2 pictures of.
Yeah.
And I'll go out.
Those ghosts.
I would go out and purposely seek that deer out, because it was kind of fun to me, because it was so hard to get on that deer. And, that's the deer I'd, once in 2 or 3 years maybe or so, I'd find a deer like that and I'd go hunt and try to kill it. But outside of that, I just really didn't have any interest in it.
Right.
But we've sidelined this whole episode.
Yeah, sure.
So we won't get
Oh
back
yeah,
on
we.
that episode.
I was letting. We're just chasing rabbits
Chasing
already.
rabbits.
But yeah, I mean, so I did think it was interesting that all of us kind of independently had the same thought, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Even Matt is over in West Alabama. We're over here, and it's like, and then of course Matt is. I mean this in like a complimentary way, but like Matt's the nerd. Like Matt's gonna go and like look at he's gonna look up articles and see what people are putting out, and he's like up to date on that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, yeah, it's not just here; it's virtually every state in the Southeast, and even some Midwestern states that have like mass producing, like hard mass stuff. But like is what he was saying is it's kind of down for harvest across the board. So. Not that you guys are not teed up. We don't know necessarily what we're talking about when we show up for these things, but just kind of an opinion with you guys being biologists. Wish Matt and Bray were both here too, but from your perspective, what's the most compelling data point?
All right, y'all ready for this?
Yeah. What's the most compelling data point that might explain why harvests are down across the Southeast?
It's all about the acorns, baby.
Hey, there it is. We should make a shirt for that.
Yeah, should. But seriously, the number, the sheer volume of acorns on the ground this year across the landscape that I have been was just unbelievable. I have not in my hunting career, I don't know what to call it, in my hunting lifespan, whatever. I started deer hunting when I was 8 or 9, really serious about it, once I got into the teens and, kept it as a career. I've never seen this volume of acorns on the ground from all species across the board over a large area. And I'm primarily working from mid-South Alabama, let's call it, Dallas, Greene County, up to North Alabama, and some in Tennessee and North Mississippi and North Georgia. But take that swath that I've visited this year, acorn production is just off the charts.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was warm early.
Yep, that's true. And I mean, there are places on these real small properties, and again, it's pretty local. It's site specific, but I mean, it's like roller skating. Like in certain spots, you can't stand up. There are so many acorns on the ground. You like they just roll and you know what I mean. And when there's that many on the ground, it's that readily available for deer. Like it's like, can you have too much of a good thing?
Yeah.
Like is it
for killing deer? Absolutely.
Yeah, from that perspective.
From a a healthy deer production standpoint, no, not really. But another thing is we haven't had. It's been it was a very dry summer, late summer, and it's been relatively dry still. So what acorns are out there haven't rotted yet.
Right. But we had an extremely wet spring.
Early That's right.
Early summer.
Oh, yeah.
And
we had a great growing year.
Yeah, and then how that correlates to, like you said, and I don't know if there's research that exists that shows, why we got all the species to produce like they did at one time. But, just the places I go to hunt, the place, the farm that I run in Verbena, it's like you said, I mean, they're sprouting everywhere you go now. There's still so many left on the ground. They can't eat them all. I mean, I did some a lot of public land scouting this year across the state, and yeah, I mean there's water oak, all the way to chestnut oaks, anything you can imagine.
White oaks, red, black oaks.
I mean they're everywhere, and this year would have been a fantastic year for some grad student somewhere to really grind it out and figure out, hey, what exactly are the acorns that they really prefer, because
you got them all.
My gosh,
you got them all.
They're all out here.
Yeah,
trust me, and that's it makes hunting extremely easy,
just to kill
or
something.
Extremely hard.
Yeah.
It depends on the landscape that you're hunting. Okay. Now you put me in Tuskegee National Forest and I get in a 400 or 500 acre longleaf stand where there's 3 water oaks dropping.
Got him.
Boys,
it's over.
All I got to do is figure out which one I want to shoot. Okay. You put me up here in North Alabama on Skyline or somewhere, and or some Central Alabama in some river bottom. I mean, and it's just like, I think that was you mentioned it the other day. Is like there's the human factor of hunting. That they're all excited about it. Baby, we're fishing to go, and it all ties back together with baiting. I've had bait out in my cameras, I'm not seeing, and they go hunt over their corn, and they're like, I'm not seeing any deer. Where are these? We had 3 nice bucks on this camera that we left that were here in February, and they're not here right now. They get discouraged. They don't want to go. The deer are there, baby. They haven't gone anywhere. AHD wasn't that bad this year. They're
not for us.
Yeah, well,
right.
They're not coming to corn. Right. That's period. So, and trust me, I mean, I ran some camera surveys, and my pictures were down 50 to 60% on areas that I run over corn. They're just not coming and eating it.
Right.
So chalk it up. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
acorns are the game this year.
Yeah, I would imagine places like you were talking about that are primarily like pine plantation, but you have this random, water oak or
like
random
fish in a barrel.
Yeah, so you have these scattered out. It's like, hey, it's a limited resource.
I love to hunt areas like that. And
Oh, yeah.
that's how ignorant I was. I'm going to school in Auburn. You know, coming from here, I started hunting out there and hunting areas that were a lot of pines. Man, there ain't nothing out here, you know, natural vegetation, which, you know, a lot of it was poorly managed. So there wasn't a lot of fire on the landscape. There's not a whole lot of, you know, browse to, and if there was, it's, you know, 500-600 acre blocks. You know, the habitat and the nutrition is more or less spread out evenly and in a lot of aspects. But boy, you find that little nugget of candy that they're after. That's how you get it done.
That's
so,
right.
For sure.
Anyway,
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to touch on that because it is abnormal. This is not a typical year. You know, it's not like, really, it's not a year that any of us sitting here and talked to Matt, talked to Brady, like none of us have ever seen this before.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, is this kind of a fluke, you know, anomaly type thing? Is this happens once in a generation or whatever? Or is this something that, depending on weather patterns, this could be a trend? This could be how things start.
I think it could be,
you know,
if our weather patterns, you know, were that heavily trendy, but chances of that occurring are not great. But it definitely could be a possibility. You know, we've been talking, you know, about weather changes, and you know, I don't remember earlier in my life us ever having these 2, maybe 3 cold spells in the South where it's single digits for a week. And we've been having those the last few years. I don't remember these late summer droughts that have been extended periods.
Yeah.
You know, even when I started working, I just don't remember them. Now, you know, it may be cyclical every 100 years, 50 years, 25 years. I don't know.
And it
it
could
may
be
just
completely
anecdotal.
random.
Yeah, it could be
You know.
anecdotal what we're looking at, and just totally random.
Yeah. I mean, that's not to get off on a tangent, but that my whole deal, you know, I'm kind of a weather nerd. It's like, you know, humans in general, we're fairly arrogant to think, you know, well, we've kept meteorological records now for a couple hundred years, and we're gonna call global warming. It's like, man, Earth's been here, you know, a few billion years.
Weather's been doing weather for a lot longer.
Yeah, and it's like we're pretty arrogant to think we're gonna write stuff down for a couple hundred years and be like, oh, well, this is exactly, well, the climate may be warming, but guess what? Next year, it may be a cycle where it's going to start cooling back off. We don't really know, you know. So, but yeah,
all the glaciers are melting.
Yeah. Well, that's my. This is the same line of thinking that I have with CWD, and you've got one side that, oh my gosh, the sky's falling. The other side, oh my gosh, no, it's not. It's not a problem at all because it's been here forever. Well, you don't know.
Right. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. And the honest,
there's more unanswered than there are answered.
The honest answer to that is to go, well, we know it exists. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all agree that, you know, it's a disease. We're researching it. Gosh knows how long we maybe have to research before we really, really understand it. But I think somewhere in the middle is probably where everybody should be on it.
Yeah.
You know, you should be privy to it. I don't think you should be scared of it. But I think you could do yourself a favor is to you know, educate yourself on it and don't take a political side on it.
Well,
and get mad at your fellow hunter about it.
It's kind of like what we talked about earlier on the corn and camera. Somebody's making money.
Sure. Are they definitely stand to make
You've got
money.
one side that's saying it's a problem, and they're researching it, and they're not making money, so to speak, off of CWD, but now they are able to fund research projects and have grad students and that. Did their base salary change? No, it didn't. They're still making what they were making at their university or at their research organization. And then you've got the other side that, hey, this isn't a problem. We've
have the answer to the problem.
Right. We've been researching deer as well as researchers have because we do deer as a business. And by the way, we have figured this out. So they actually stand to make money from states changing their regulations around CWD. Where I'm in the middle is like, I'm concerned about it. I would like to know more. It's just something that's going to impact how we manage deer from here on out. I don't stand to make any money off of it. I'm not going to tell you it's a problem or not a problem. I just think it's something we got to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
So I think there is, for whatever reason, I think this is not necessarily like a political deal. I think this is a human deal. Like this is a
psychological deal.
Yeah, it's like there's this like pressure for people to be perceived as experts, regardless of whatever the circumstances are. And it's like, what I mean is, rather than just saying, "Hey guys, I'm an expert in the field. I've done research. This is my livelihood. I just don't know." Like that, but they won't do that.
Right.
And that's CWD is one category, but that applies to
everything.
People won't just say, "Hey man, I don't know."
Yeah.
And let's figure it out. You know. Instead, it's like I have to feel.
Yep. I have to pick a side.
I got to be smart. I got to be at least give off the illusion that I'm intelligent. I've got to, and it's like instead of just.
Yeah, I mean, there's those guys out there. They have to say, "I know this."
That's what I'm saying.
This is my opinion. And it's like, man, do you really?
Yeah.
Well, like even going back to COVID, like there's infectious disease specialists. That is their livelihood. That is what they have done all their careers.
Yeah. We're living and dying literally by what they do.
Yes, and it's like, but at the end of the day, this thing was brand spanking new.
Right.
Like people, there was, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what I'm talking about either. But I'm just saying, instead of the CDC standing up and going, "Here's what we do know about it for sure," bang, 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 bang.
Right.
This thing is brand spanking new, and here's what we don't know. Right. We don't know how long you're contagious for. We don't know how easily this thing is spread. Like whatever, but
hey,
can't do that.
People stood to make $1, so they ran with it.
Yeah,
and
that's some of the same thing that's going on.
I feel like there's always merit to both sides of the argument. To listen to it. Maybe there are answers.
Well, and
on either side, but we're still trying to figure it out.
That's right.
So, like in life in general, there are very, very few instances where there are absolutes.
No,
that's like right. A always equals B.
Right.
Every time, no matter what. Like
Never.
that occasionally.
Yeah.
But usually it's not all in or all out. It's usually somewhere in the middle. Like. For regardless of what we're talking about.
Well, and I'm gonna use you brought up COVID. Use that. I mean, they started out, and by they, I'm just gonna say, folks that were supposed to be the experts.
Right.
I'm gonna use air quotation, whatever. You've got to get this, or you risk dying.
Scare tactic.
Yeah, but now in the CDC kind of rolling back and going, hey, if you did get certain versions of these shots,
you may be entitled to compensation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. It's like everything.
I bring that up just to say is we continually learn, and we may learn something about CWD in next month that we don't know that changes the game.
Sure.
We may learn something about putting corn out for turkeys that we didn't know that agencies look back and go, we got to stop now, or hey, no problem.
Right.
And we're going to continually learn by doing research, and the anti-government movement and anti-researcher movement has got to give a little grace. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we're about to be at a standstill.
Sure.
As a society, because you're not going to have belief in any of these systems that we're going to have to trust a little bit.
Yeah.
We got to.
And it's like we've been doing this for how long? Forever, my whole life. It's, these we'll just say now we're old enough, aren't we? These kids that are out here doing this research and stuff, they're not making any money at it.
No.
They're trying to get their education.
That's right.
And they're working hard to try to figure out if some hypothesis might actually have real merit to it.
Yep.
If we can use this somehow to help you, the public, manage your resources. And, to think that people, I know one thing, I hadn't got rich.
Well, I was about to say that. Look, publicly traded companies, things like that, and state organizations, you can kind of find out compensation packages for these people.
Sure.
Let me tell you something. These guys researching CWD and researching deer, if they think they're getting rich, if that's what the general public, the general hunter thinks, they're idiots. Yeah.
Now they may
look. I'm just going to be.
They can secure some grants. To continue people
but that ain't
to
their
have
money.
their jobs.
Yes.
That'd be about it.
I don't. I'm not saying
and I'm not a politician either. So
I'm not trying to be arrogant at all, because it's not. I don't make as much money as a lot of people, but I do know that I make more than state employees. I make more than the guys researching CWD that are at state agencies or universities. Not a research organization. I don't know about those. But
case in point,
I'm not rich, so they dang sure ain't.
Right. I mean, I've always tried to work in the private sector. Why?
There's more money.
Better
to
money
be made.
in it.
Absolutely.
I didn't do this for my health.
Yeah.
So, but there again,
Just to think of the Bernie thing. I'm once again asking for your support.
Yeah.
Please help me continue my research.
If there is an answer, we hadn't found it.
That's it.
And I'll be the first to admit, everybody, I'm not the most well read and up to date on everything with it, because how long has this been going on? At some point, even as a biologist, you get burnt out on it.
Oh yeah, I am.
But it's like when
it comes to that.
And as I'm saying, hey, I'm all for whatever that's better for the deer population, human population, whatever the answers, whatever it may be, but the end of the day, and we can get off CWD after that, whatever, but if I was hunting in a really high prevalence area, and this is what my take has been, from the research that I have read, I think it would behoove you to just get it tested.
That's right.
And I think y'all have probably covered that before.
Yeah.
But just get it tested. There is some research that suggests that it's transmissible potentially.
Yeah, potentially
to humans, but the issue, we'll say not an issue, but the thing with that is it generally would not manifest itself as CWD in human beings. It would manifest itself most likely in diabetes, dementia, some other way, just because of the way our brain tissue works. Our brain tissue completely different than cervids. So the actual CWD prion, the way it would work and it's been studied in mimicked human brain tissue, it's not going to kill you like it does deer in a few years or something. It's something that would probably manifest itself in an illness, cancer, so it would still,
Sure.
Why not go get it tested just to know? And if it's positive, don't eat it.
Yep.
It's that simple.
There's enough doubt or concern, whatever word you want to use there, to go, hey, we're going to play it safe.
Yeah, and that's pretty much in my opinion, that's the end all be all. Have it tested. If it, send it to the authorities there and let them incinerate it or whatever they're going to do with it.
For sure.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, Taylor. Let's get back on the.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We just keep derailing, guys. Sorry. We're going to try to keep it together for the last little bit here. Second question here is, we've talked about, food and, different other things. Let's talk now about the human element here. Is this the link in, a dip in harvest across the southeast? Even like we were talking about, processors, taxidermists, everybody's saying, man, I mean, what did you say your processor over there in Fayette is down 50%?
Down a little over 50% on just deer processing meat, and quite a bit north of 50% down on taxidermy. So
bucks.
Yeah,
I mean, it shows
quality bucks, so to
Right.
speak. Something that somebody's going to mount.
older bucks prefer acorns.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And I'm going to equate, in wildlife management, we always consider it a three-legged stool. And always, the hardest one to manage is
People.
the people.
Oh, yeah.
And this is part of it. I'm holding up my cell phone for you folks that are just listening. That has created instant gratification. And another part of the human aspect is because we want instant gratification, or, hey, we're just running busy lives now. We're busier than we've ever been. We're relying on the shortcuts. We're relying on the bait. We're relying on the cameras to tell us when to go to the woods. And if we're not seeing anything on those cameras or over those bait piles, it's not worth going, which is ludicrous. But look, we all fall in that trap.
Sure.
I have fallen in that trap.
Sure.
But a perfect example is over at our place that it's just we don't overhunt it, but our neighbors are absolutely just blowing the woods up because the rut started.
Yeah, didn't you say y'all heard 30 shots?
Yeah,
30
I counted
something
31. I think you said you counted 27.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And 7,
And
I said 7, and he said I think closer to 10.
Yeah, let me
that were
interject.
on neighbors' property,
Yeah,
direct neighbors.
Right quick, that wasn't over the weekend. That was
In the
Saturday morning.
For an hour,
Yeah, between, what did we say?
9 to 10. From
yeah,
9 to 10.
Yeah, like 8:30 to 9:45. Yeah, I mean, this was like, click your safety off because something's going on, guys.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
my gosh.
when it started, literally somewhere, I said 9 to 10, 8:45, 9 o'clock, man, it started just poof,
Yeah.
poof.
It was reminiscent.
Then it was poo, poo, poo. And they were all different directions. You're like, what in the heck is going on?
Yeah, it was reminiscent of growing up it's down in South Alabama running dogs and stuff on the opening day of season. It was just like, hey, it's kind of a good, it's like, man, there's that many hunters on the landscape. Definitely want to wear your orange.
Yeah.
I mean,
and all of that, we're texting Matt back and forth because he wasn't in the woods. But he was keeping up with our taxidermist over there and our processor, Ron, at Sorghum Hollow. And
Shout out.
yeah,
Ron.
shout out to Sorghum Hollow Taxidermy, Ron, Vanessa, Josh, Jake,
Can't
all
beat
you
'em.
guys. Yep, love you guys. Awesome group. Ron probably don't want me to tell you to take your taxidermy over there, but hey, take your taxidermy to Ron.
Hey,
he knows how to find you. You better watch.
Yeah. But Matt keeps up with them pretty regular. And he even goes when it's really busy and helps them skin and cut up deer.
Yeah.
But in that flurry shortly thereafter, they said deer just started showing up at Sorghum Hollow. And he said at the last point in which we talked, before we talked to him later in the day, every buck that had been brought in was a spike. Every one of them. And that I'm not downing you if you shoot a spike, but chances are that spike was probably running a doe.
Yeah.
Why not shoot the
you
friggin' doe?
If you recall, I had seen 2 spikes that morning pushing
Yeah.
does, and I didn't see any, I don't want to say mature deer, but any deer over 2 years old, and I think I wound up seeing 2 or 3 after that.
Yeah.
They were more like 8:30 to 10 o'clock is when I went in, and I I missed. I
he
missed
did.
a deer.
He did.
At 9. What was it? 9:30.
Yeah, about
9:45?
9:30. And
45.
that's a lesson that I thought
It don't
I
happen much.
thought Uncle Corey knew. By the way, sorry, we don't go by real names.
Yeah.
It's a lesson I thought Cody knew. Shooting a long range rifle with this got adjustable turrets. Hey, check them things. Make sure they're zeroed out.
Well, I did know it. I just didn't care.
He just forgot.
Last time we sat it in the corner, I remember we shot the same hole at 200 yards, and I was like,
All
Good enough for me.
good enough, guys.
That truck or that gun's been moved around in my shop, been moved around with Cody and rode in trucks and whatnot, and it was off. So
Yeah. Considerably.
But
but I won't say this before we move on, but I was talking about the corn and the cameras. And Cody's sitting there and got a camera on a feeder and corn
Great
on the
point.
ground at 200 yards. You know how many pictures of deer we had that morning? 0.
None.
You know how many deer he saw? Like, what, 14,
I saw 14
15?
deer that morning.
dang.
Okay,
Yes.
so, and some of them walked within yards of the camera.
Absolutely.
And
I
just
mean,
walked by
I
it.
watched Spike and 3 does and him pushing them around. And, the does would eat. Spike would run up. They would run around here, and he'd eat a second. And it's like,
They just didn't get in front of the camera.
right. Or they didn't stay long enough.
Mm-hmm.
They, whatever it is. It's just
So-
do not lean on your cameras to hunt, guys. I mean,
Well, I mean, there's malfunctions too. Not
sure.
I mean, any brand, any whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
they
right. It's
sometimes-
technology
And
that
I-
you hang out in the woods.
Yeah, what
and I
could
didn't
go
ask
wrong?
you what the sensitivity was on those.
The highest.
Were
So,
they?
yeah.
Okay.
So,
And the weirdest thing, and
when a bird flies by, it
not
takes
to-
picture.
I know I'm the worst in the world, but not to run off on a tangent, but through the years, and I don't know if you and I've ever even tested, maybe some virgin ground here. Have you ever noticed that it seems like turkeys don't trip the cameras?
Not much. And I think
I don't know what's up with that, but I mean, we're talking about through the years over
my personal
tons
opinion.
of brands of
Yeah,
cameras.
this is anecdotal, but my personal opinion is because the way that they're set, the only thing that's getting up in that trigger is that little old neck.
Is their head?
Yeah. And if this is just my anecdotal opinion here, if you set them lower or you point them down a little bit so that you'll catch that body, I think it'll do better because I'm getting them on mine, where
And
we've got them.
I
and
do
I've
a
got
lot
those.
on mine.
I've got those cameras tilted down. I
Sure.
always tilt my cameras
Right.
down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I have noticed through the years,
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of birds walk in front of cameras.
and it don't get them.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a bit.
I agree.
cool.
So anyway,
But anyway, that same.
but other people.
Yeah. Well, going along with people, like, that's what I was getting at. Is do you think that the low harvest is more attributed to the abundance of acorns, or is it the presence of humans that maybe don't take maybe the best access to a spot to hunt it, or maybe just over hunt it in general?
I think it's both.
Both and.
I think it's a mix. One, you've got all the acorns on the landscape, and you've got I hate to say it, but the newer age of hunter that what they've grown up seeing on video, social media is guys posting pictures of sitting on a food plot or sitting next to a feeder or what have you, any of the easier options other than going out using woodsmanship, finding where deer are moving and going after deer where they are.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Now,
have
the
to-
public land guys are a little different,
Right.
They're going out there and looking.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if you actually broke it down and just went out and did a survey and talked to, and just had a tell you, hey, I hunt public land here. I mean, not try to be rude or a jerk, but these public land guys are probably they're going to have more success because they're out on the landscape. They're having to do that to an extent more than most people that are in a lease or whatever. But face it.
And like we said last week too, a lot of this public land is a lot less pressured than these leases where you've got so many people.
And
in
it
them.
used to be the other way around.
It did. It used to be the other way.
But we are the most trainable animal on the planet as human beings.
Absolutely.
And that's what people, don't understand. Boy, I can reiterate that as well as anybody else in this field. They tell you that in school. You don't really realize it till you get there. I mean, managing wildlife is bogus.
people.
It's managing people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean,
What's crazy is Taylor probably has more insight on this with your background in psychology than even, the biologist side. You've got folks that deal with wildlife and human dimensions. That's a good mix. But this is all psychological.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, social media, and videotapes back in the day, DVDs, whatever. I mean, there was a reason they were put out, and it was to generate revenue.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was the purpose. No other purpose. They can say what they want. Any of the old hunting shows didn't put these things out because it was good for their health.
No.
Sorry.
They figured it out. They're like, hey,
We can make money.
We can make $1 off of this.
We can make money doing what we love.
And we having fun doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. But, yeah, I mean, it's just like, man, it don't matter what you're doing, whether it's pertaining to hunting, managing a property, whatever. At the end of the day, the world we live in, it all goes through human hands.
That's it.
Or their human, decisions that they make.
That's it.
And hunting's no different. I mean, just like Jeremy said, nowadays we're no different. Especially us. I mean, we're busy.
That's it.
And it's like, hey man, the weather or whatever, in a year like this is this extreme of an outlier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are going to go, hey, I went last week, I didn't see any deer.
Yep.
Or I only saw 2 where I used to see 14. It's people. They're going to go, hey, it's a product of the acorns and the food. There's an abundance of it this year, and there is not an abundance of deer being seen.
Yeah.
And there is an abundance of frustration, and humans get aggravated.
Yep.
And there's more. Football's easy to watch, and people are lazy.
Right. Well, and I mean, when you
including myself.
Like my specialty in college was behavior modification. That's what I kind of honed in on. And when you give, I don't care, a pigeon, a deer, a person, whatever, when they have options, like there's multiple outcomes that could take place.
Sure. Yep.
When you start to take away those options and you only give them a couple, well, they become predictable. You know what I mean? And so when you have an abundance of acorns and you have a corn feeder over here, well, in a typical year, what's coming to that feeder.
Sure.
Well, maybe not now because they got options.
Mm-hmm.
And a deer that doesn't want to die, that would like to continue living, is going to do whatever it thinks is going to keep it safe.
Yeah, well, that and also, it's a great example of what do deer really like.
Yeah.
Well, I think we just got our answer.
Yeah.
The deer really, really like acorns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've always been, for years, it's like, a deer is going to walk over A, B, C, and D to get to a persimmon, or A, B, C to get to a white oak acorn, or a swamp chestnut acorn. It's no different now. Deer don't prefer corn over acorns.
Right.
Now,
period.
But Jeremy has said it before too. Like anything else that can be conditioned or behavior can be shaped, they're lazy.
Yep.
And if it's like, hey, you know what? I would rather have an acorn, but I might have to walk.
This corn's
here.
I
might have to walk half a mile over here to get to it, but this pine plantation has got a big old pile of corn right here. I'm just going to eat that.
Yeah, in history and science has proven that deer are trainable as their intelligence is about that of a smart lab.
Mm-hmm.
They're not dumb animals.
No.
Right.
And especially the older they get, they have experiences. They kind of train themselves to survive, and
it's another reason to shoot those guys.
Right. We know how to survive. We know we don't have to walk but 50 yards and get water and food right here at this white oak next to this creek. It makes plenty sense. There's your answer.
Yep.
And then back to the people being trainable. as we couldn't do it as a biologist or we might could do it as a forester, because they're not viewed as trying to sway things from a wildlife standpoint so much. But if we went as a biologist, a game warden, or a state any kind of government employee to a hunting club meeting, and this club's talking about, oh, well, we're not seeing any deer, harvester down, da-da-da-da-da, a professional can give them plausible scenarios and information, and they're going to choose to believe Billy Bob over here because he's hunted here for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just it's a distrust level, and people have been trained now to distrust.
Right. People are always going to want to listen and believe to what they really want to hear.
Sure.
That's right.
I can attest to that deeply.
Sure. Everybody does.
Yep.
I mean, from a professional standpoint, that personally has been probably is my biggest hurdle, and it's something I've had to deal with. You know, you're out here trying to help people. I know Jeremy deals with it too, maybe not as much on a personal level, but you're here trying to help someone. You know what needs to be done. You know, but people are trained to, well, so and so said, and they've got all these things, and I want to believe them. And I'm like, there's a whole lot of caveats to why they got it. That they have this because of a whole lot of stuff you're overlooking. And and this people they're gonna hear what they want to.
Yeah,
that selective hearing gets on a whole nother level.
Well, that's one of my favorite quotes ever. Is I've never had a bad idea until I told somebody else.
Yeah.
Every idea I've ever had is great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Until you tell somebody and they're like, "That's not going to work, man." But they all want to hear that. And
it's like one of the texts we kind of giggled at, back and forth a little bit. Is and Cody gets it, and I get it, and Matt gets it, and Bray gets it, and all these different folks get it from the scientific community around deer. Man, the rut's early this year. The rut's late this year. Like, no, boss.
Yeah.
The rut's probably within 48 hours of what it always is.
Can't wait for that moon. Get that new moon.
Whatever.
Yeah,
the rut moon, like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Look, there are not a lot of things that we know to be 100% true, and we don't know that to be 100% true, but research results year after year after year after year for decades have shown us that these deer come into estrus based off a photo period within a very short amount of time that they did their whole lives.
Right.
And that kind of stands true from generation to generation to generation. Now, you can get things out of whack with having poor population dynamics, but it's pretty concise if you've got good population dynamics.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I using my oldest as an example here, but like my oldest son's 8, and he's never he's just starting to get a little bit of an attitude about stuff, and it's like, but he knows if he has a question for me, it's because he doesn't know the answer. That's why he's asking me.
Right.
But when I tell him the answer and he don't like it, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm sure that's how it works. Like, all right, you're right, buddy. You're 8 years old. I'm 37. You probably know more than I do. Right. You know, it's like, dude, look, at some point, you're just going to have to trust that I have lived on this planet longer than you have, and I've been there. I've been 8 years old before. Yeah. Like I've been there and done that.
I survived it.
You're just going to have to trust me. You know what I mean? Like you may not like what I've got to say, but you're just going to have to like. So it's just kind of funny because you'll get the same attitude from grown adults that are like, well, why are we not seeing any deer? We don't have any deer here. Well, maybe it's not that you don't have deer. Maybe it's because there's a billion acorns in the woods. No, that's not it. It's like, okay.
Well,
no, the guy down the street's been doing something that's sketchy.
And one of my favorite quotes is trust but verify.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Trust that the guy, is trying to tell you the truth. Look, there may be some shyster out there that's just trying to lie to you to get business from you, whatever. Trust but verify. And if you can verify through anecdotal evidence of talking to some other people that may have gone through the same thing, or you go out and you really start paying attention to what that guy said and see if you can verify it on yourself, and then you've actually got some reasoning power behind making a decision.
Yeah.
If you're just making an emotional decision, you're like half the people out there that's just, by gosh, this is what I think because I am smarter than you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fine.
And the thing is
You might be, but you're probably wrong about that.
and especially in the wildlife business, everybody thinks they know things, or and it makes I feel like it makes me that people that do know. And, I'll be the first one to tell you if I don't know. That's what a lot of people don't. I'm going to stand right on that stump and go, hey, buddy.
I don't know, but we can find out probably.
I'll figure it out for you, but that's something I can't help you right at this second. But there's just so many people that get so opinionated and so caught up on what somebody told them or the things that they've seen, but they're misinterpreting them. And
context.
They're turning it some way to where they're doing something that really is completely detrimental to their overall goal, and they can't get past it in their own mind.
Yep.
And it's so difficult for people like you and I to try to twist and turn that and straighten it out.
This sounds arrogant or in poor taste, and I know it does, and there's just no other way to say it. But I'm just going to throw it out there. The upper echelon of society that are hunters, the guys that have made successes of themselves, got money. We're not working for the guys that's working 9 to 5 most of the time. Okay, we're not. We are working for individuals that have been very, very successful at whatever it is they figured out how to do.
Sure, yeah.
And they have figured out, hey, sometimes I don't know the answer, but I can find somebody that does, and I can be successful because I can hire them.
Yep.
Sure.
I mean, CEOs will tell you time and time again, hey, I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the one that that makes this business, this company work, at that level. But what I do well is I can look at it from the 30,000 foot level or the 100,000 foot level, and I see the pieces. I know that I am not any of these pieces, but by gosh, I've got the checkbook or I've got the board's approval to go hire the best people. Yep. Those are the successful businesses. Yeah. And when it comes to people running successful hunting properties, successful recreational properties, they go get people that are professionals, that they have the background and they have the past clientele to go, yes, their plan worked for us.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
And you can piecemeal it together and, say this is the best decision for you at this time in this given scenario. And like you said, it's to us, it's kind of second nature. But
and I'm not saying that I'm that guy that knows all that.
Sure.
What I am, but for me, where I have found my niche in this business is, yes, I do have my specialties, but I know the folks that know the answers that I don't.
Yeah, right.
And when it comes time to, hey, guys, I don't know what we're up against here. Something's just not right. Come in here and let's put our heads together and let's figure out what the problem is.
Yeah. Well, this is just kind of a personal pet peeve for me for what I do for a living, which is marketing. Like, I'll have a potential client, reach out and go, this is what's wrong with our business. We're not getting leads, or we're just not getting, the phone's not ringing, or whatever. And I go, okay, well, tell me what you are doing. Tell me where you're spending your money and, what are your efforts. And I go, okay, well, based on what you just told me, I think you should do this and maybe take some money from this thing, put it over here, you know, whatever. And, well, God, I'm not doing that. It's like, look, man, like you called me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
You sought me out. I didn't
Yes.
come to you.
And so that's why, like on our social feed, like we get blasted in the comments.
Constantly.
But they didn't go looking for that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes our stuff just pops up in your For You stuff, you know, it just scrolls and you watch it.
Right.
So, look, I don't care. You know what I mean? That's fine. If you blast us, we don't care. It's
Yeah.
fine. But I'm saying when someone seeks you out because you're supposed to be a professional in whatever field that is, and then they go, cool story, bro. I'm not going to do that. It's like, okay, you know,
Exactly.
then just keep doing what you're doing,
Right,
I guess.
that's
You know,
it, right.
And keep getting what you
yeah,
get.
I mean,
Right.
let's see how
Yeah.
that's working out
Yeah.
for you. So, I don't mean that to sound
Yeah.
arrogant either,
Well,
but it's like, you know,
And I've said this, and one of my favorites is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and
Expecting a
expecting
different
something different. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen, guys.
Well, look, and I mentioned that we don't work for the 9 to 5 guys. By and large, we don't. Some of my bigger clients, you know, started out there, and they figured out what they were good at in that 9 to 5 and turned it into another business.
Sure.
But it's just it blows my mind that folks get out on social media and ask a question in a group that's got professionals, and then lambast the professional for the answer that they received. It's like, well, like you say, well, you came here and asked.
Yeah. It's like
you called
Did
me,
you,
brother.
yeah,
Like,
did you?
Yeah,
did
you came in here with a
wanna-
shovel digging.
Yes.
I didn't tell you to.
Yeah. Did you want an answer that could be plausible, or did you just want to hear what you wanted to hear?
Right. No, but anyway, it's just funny to
Yeah, that's the
go on
people.
that way. But
That's
yeah,
why I no longer work at the government.
sure.
One reason.
Pretty much last question here. We've kind of covered. I know I realize y'all
We've bounced.
we've bounced a lot on this one. We'll try to reel it in on the next one. But last question here. Looking ahead, and I know this is basically impossible to do, but just your opinion. You know, you guys have been doing this for a little bit, and seeing how things harvest has taken a little bit of a hit. Looking ahead, say 5, maybe 10 years from now, do you feel like this is something that is has a positive outlook or an optimistic outlook in terms of harvest, or do you feel like population is on the decline or hunter numbers on the decline? Like, where are we heading in the
It's got zero long-term effect.
zero?
Next year, conditions will be different. Now, if you had a string of years where for some reason, whatever it is, that overall harvests are down and populations do climb, then you have issues that you've got to deal with. A one-off like this makes no difference. What I will tell you that this could possibly make a difference in is our quality of deer going into next year. We had a phenomenal spring. Mm-hmm. We had a decent summer, even though it got dry. But we've got a lot of food this winter. That's going to keep, that's going to keep up. There's still plenty of food on the landscape. Assuming we don't have just some crazy dry spring, which I don't foresee. We're generally wet in the spring. Our crop of fawns, our doe crop, our bucks, our antler characteristics should be able to, in areas, and let me preface that, in areas that have a relatively balanced herd and not overpopulated, should see some increased quality across, those age classes with the kind of run we've been on with food abundance and food quality.
Yeah, I mean we have by the good Lord's will been set up for this spring to be the spring summer that those outliers are going to be born
the next year. Yep.
So from 5 years after this coming fawning season, keep your eyes open.
Yeah,
Well, it's theoretical. It's proven now. Your superstars should be born next summer.
Yeah,
because everything is lined up, and deer research across years, and you know what I'm talking about. It shows that everything is lined up. Your females are going to be healthy. The bucks are mating when they should be in prime health. Everything that fawn, like you said, unless something weird happens, this is going to be the year that some of your highest quality bucks down the road should be fawned this year. So
because everybody should be in good condition, and people want to get on, well, it just takes a year or two of good nutrition. No, it starts from when they're born.
Yeah, it starts with
what they're born into.
They need to start out good and ahead of the curve, and then they can carry that.
Right.
But in areas that have pretty solid deer, assuming we continue this trend through the spring and summer, you may see an increase in antler development from 3 to 4 that you don't nearly see, or from 4 to 5 that you don't typically see. Right. You may normally see a 10% increase. Well, you could potentially see a 15% increase or something. Yeah. That's hard to pinpoint.
Sure.
I mean, it really is. But, these deer are going through healthy. They should finish healthy, give them a head start on the next year. So nothing but good things unless some crazy things
right. And like
occur.
I say, it's the life cycle of the deer. Sure, it could be a dry spring, dry summer. It's going to have to get pretty substantially dry and
for us,
and in our ecosystem here in the Southeast for that to happen. But now throughout, if you're really into your deer and managing deer, and you really watch them, that don't mean that at age 2, 3, or 4 that they might be down. But it means that they have the potential to grow, and even if they go down, they're going to be born in such good condition potentially that they can overcome those lulls,
those little setbacks.
Those setbacks. They can beat them, and they can come out still being, like I said, I like the word superstars, because I've seen it so many times through generations of deer that I've helped manage. It's unbelievable, really, what an impact that can have on, and this being the type of year where, and there's other years that if there was enough research done on it here in the Southeast, you say, man, everybody's banging out some really, really nice deer this year. Well, if you go back 5, 6 years, wow, we had a really wet summer.
It's
and that was
it's a well-known research thing in Texas.
Yeah, you're right.
Water drives the system.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you can look back and go, yep, he was born in a wet year.
Yeah.
And then, oh, by the way, not only was he born in the wet year up until 3 years old, he was in wet years. Now, age 4 and 5, kind of dry. Right. He didn't show out.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another wet year here at age 6.
Yeah.
He just blows.
That's how. Matt Moore talked about that when we were out there in January.
And that's who I worked with, was their family, their
same
research,
family.
same thing.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing how black and white that research is. And that's Texas. Let me tell you, deer.
That's it.
The things we see in the Southeast are a lot more subtle because we live in an ecosystem that is completely different. And trust me, of all people, I know, because we went to Auburn, trained here in this ecosystem. Matt could attest to this. You go out there and it's like, hey, what did I do? Because, I had to completely relearn everything I knew, because that ecosystem here, we'd say our deer populations are density driven out there. Nope. It's completely all the ecosystem, everything is completely rain driven out there. So, it's more, it's more explained, and it's more seen because it's thrown in your face out there.
Yeah.
And it's subtle here.
Yeah.
But if you
got to
actually,
massage
if,
it here.
if you paid more attention to it here, it definitely is there.
Yeah, I mean that's what Matt said. Like we would, go around every little turn you went around on those gravel roads, flushing up quail everywhere. And he's like, "Don't get me wrong, this is awesome,
but it's not always.
But this is not how it always is."
Yeah.
He's like, "We had a really good spring.
Sure.
It was nice and wet, but
and that's what a lot of people don't they do not understand. They want to get on their soapbox and reel about whatever topic you want to get on. And I even say maybe a lot of biologists don't, they understand, but they may not keep that on the forefront of their mind of how dynamic our ecosystem is and how it can change vastly. Even the most subtle things that you may overlook, especially in the Southeast, because there's so many more dynamics that you might not, you might overlook. But it can change, and it can have a huge impact, and it can, hit you and be like, oh, well, that's what happened, after the fact. So
the two consistents, birthdays and nutrition, no matter where you go. Yep. Texas, nutrition just happens to be driven by rainfall. Mm-hmm. Here, on most of our properties, nutrition is driven by active management.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's just different.
Yep.
You can't walk away and leave our habitat here because everything here really kind of strives to be a closed canopy forest, except for in the prairies and we've got different habitats, different ecosystems.
And 1,000 years ago, it didn't
where we are, up where we are, it strives to be a closed canopy oak hickory forest.
Yep.
For the most part.
Right.
So
and
you've got to actively manage that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what I say, we're dealing with animals that did not evolve to thrive in that. It's just, the story of the quail. I mean, and I guess in my management scheme, whatever property I may be on, in the back of my mind, I can't help it after being in Texas and throughout, and everybody knows me intimately. I'm a turkey nut, and somewhat a quail.
And by intimately, he means well, not intimately.
Exactly. You define intimate, well, but we'll say anything generally that's good for turkey and a quail management wise is generally good for a whitetail deer. And I guess harking back to me, spending a good bit of my career in Texas is, just the shocking difference between, ecosystems elsewhere versus ours. And it's obvious to see out there what they need. Mm-hmm. And then you come back here and you're like,
not so obvious.
Well, they don't have it. Well, I mean, you know what they need, but it's like,
a
1,000 years ago when we were getting, natural fires that ran across the pine savannas and stuff, it's what quail evolved, and turkey and the deer, that's what they need to thrive. And that's what we as humans have suppressed and kind of ruined for them, overall. And that's what you're trying to put it back on the landscape just to try to help you out. So,
yeah, no, it's cool. Well, I know we kind of chased some rabbits and derailed a handful of times, but I think we reeled it in nicely there at the end.
Yeah. Nonetheless, all the information you heard is spot on and right.
No need to question us, guys. We got it right.
Right. 60% of the time, every time.
That's right.
That's right.
No,
I'm right all the time. Just ask my wife.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap up this one. We went a little longer than we typically do, but appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. And hey, we have seen another little bump in engagement and followers and all that good stuff. Thank you to you guys that are leaving comments and questions, even the bad ones.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Look, the bad ones have done more for us than the good ones.
Yes.
So bring it on.
Yeah. If you hate our guts, just keep commenting. It bumps that distribution score up.
Like me,
there's a couple of us that have thin skin. Okay, I don't. What was the coach's name? Oklahoma. a few
Oh
years
yeah,
ago?
Mike Gundy.
Mike Gundy. I'm a grown man. I'm 40.
Yeah,
Come at me.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I can
right.
take
Yeah.
it, boss.
Yeah.
Bring
Hey,
it.
I love a solid debate. As I mentioned, was like I have a really shallow ego. I'll look at you and be like, you know what, I was wrong, baby.
Yeah.
You can't.
Hey,
You can't.
you heard me say it the other day.
You can't take yourself too seriously.
well, I
man.
mean, look, you guys are getting 30, 45 second, 60-second snippets of what we're talking about, and so it's easy to get taken out of context. We get it, but anyways, but we do appreciate it, and we have some this project that we feel like we have been talking about for
About 14 months.
Yes, forever. But we are very, very close to getting that thing launched, and we're looking at hopefully mid-January is what we're looking at to get that on out there for the world to see. And I think that you guys will find some value in that. So please be on the lookout. And we would really appreciate it if you would share, like, comment, follow, subscribe, all the things
Yep.
to help this thing keep rolling. We're not totally sure yet. We may be heading to ATA in January.
Yeah.
We got to figure out some specifics on that. But anyways, but yeah, and hopefully, you guys have actually a handful of times have asked about merch, and we're going to get you guys the ability to order some of that too. If you guys would rep Southern Youth, it blows my mind. Just like that, people would actually want to buy a shirt or a hat that has our stuff on it. It's kind of
I'll say this.
crazy.
Taylor has had some great ideas and come up with some great stuff. I had one idea that's pretty strong.
It is.
It is.
It's going to be good.
and if we can get enough pre-orders, we'll do something special about the legend.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave you cliffhanger. Yeah, we'll
Oh boy, that'll
leave
be
you guys
fun.
with that one. But again, we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next one. Oh, by the way, this will probably
Be the last one of the year.
well, not last one of the year, but
Oh.
definitely before Christmas. So
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. You
Yeah,
guys have
Merry
a
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Remember the reason for the season.
That's
folks.
exactly right.
That's right, man.
It's not supposed to be a commercial holiday.
No, it's not.
No.
And it's Christmas, not holidays.
It's not about
Exactly.
So appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Out.
See ya.